Thursday, April 16th, and once again, I appreciate all of you joining in to our weekly webinars. Hopefully, they continue to be beneficial to you. Just with a quick show of hands, because all of you that typically attend know that I have some issues with my screen sharing. So with a show of hands, thanks, Colleen, yours was the first hand up. So it does appear that everyone can see my screen, which is, a huge success today. For anyone that is new to the webinar, you can raise your hand just like you did to indicate that you could see my screen, and you just click on the little hand icon, and I'll unmute you at the end. You can answer or ask your question live, or if you want to type questions into the question box, we'll read those at the end and get you some answers. So without further ado, on our agenda today, as advertised, we have a guest speaker. And again, we're trying to, every other week, have guest speakers that will help you maybe think about ways that you can get additional clients and, more revenue. So with us today, I'm really happy to introduce Phil Mishler. He's the Regional Sales Director for Assurance Health. He's going to talk a little bit about the short-term programs and also some ideas for selling outside of the special election period. So, Phil, I'm going to hand it over to you. Thanks so much for joining in.
Okay, thanks, Deb. For the brokers on the call that have written an Assurance Health product, thank you for your business. I really appreciate it. One of the products that we have available through URL is temporary medical, and we have some things that we do that are better than some of our competitors. One of the main things that's different, features that's different about our short-term medical than our competitors is we offer a family deductible. So if you're taking a $5,000 deductible to save premium for your customer, all the family's claims credit towards that one $5,000 deductible, where if you were writing business with IHC, for example, you're going to have to satisfy 3 deductibles in that family. Our plan offers outpatient drug coverage, and a lot of our competitors charge an additional premium to get outpatient drug coverage. And the other point that's important to mention is that we pay commission on the entire premium. We have one competitor in particular that only pays commission on a portion of the premium. So I'm suggesting that, look, I understand brokers write what they're comfortable with. So if somebody calls you for short-term medical, you're not going to run rates for 5 different companies. You're going to sell what you're comfortable selling. What I'm suggesting is next time you get a family, consider Assurance Health, because they're only going to have to satisfy that 1 deductible. Our pricing is higher than our competitors, and for those reasons that I just mentioned. So I'm asking that you think of us for your next family, because God forbid 2 people in a family get hurt, they're going to have an extra $5,000 out of pocket, assuming that when you sell short-term, you're trying to crank the rate down and promote a higher deductible. We do sell and have approved here in Pennsylvania an accident product. It gives you cash to help you pay towards your deductible. So I run into a lot of brokers that are grumbling about the low commission for individual medical and the triple the work and all that stuff. And if you look at, if you're selling a community blue plan with Highmark and you're not loving your $8 a month commission, for $15 a month cost to the customer, they can buy our accident plan that covers them 24 hours a day. They get hurt in an accident, we're going to give them cash. Your compensation on that sale, and that $15 premium, is approximately $7. So if you're doing the community blue, you're making your $8, and you think it makes sense in a particular case to add a supplemental accident benefit, you're almost going to double your commission. And right now, now that we're outside of open enrollment, it's probably not a bad idea to reach out to your customers and ask them, does it make sense to talk about this extra $15? Some of your customers will be like, hey, if I give you another $15 a month, I'm going to have to skip a meal. Those folks might not be a good fit for it, but you know, the average customer, the average American doesn't have $2,500 in the bank. If they've purchased a bronze plan with a $6,500 out of pocket, where's that money coming from, and what are you doing to help those people? I think that's the major push. The last product that I wanted to mention, if you didn't already know, Assurant Health offers individual dental here in Pennsylvania, with the biggest feature being it's cash to use any dentist. So if your customer has a hotshot dentist that doesn't participate with anybody's any carrier's network, this plan gives you cash to go see that provider. If you buy the best plan, your customer's getting $100 twice a year to get their cleanings. It's a $1,500 calendar year maximum, and it's only a 6-month wait for major. And I can tell you, I spent 25 years trying to talk customers out of individual medical because it's not always a good expenditure of money. And even after going through that speech with customers, I typically find there's a certain percentage of folks that will raise their hand and say, I still want it. So if you run into those folks, we've got a great cash dental plan. I have it myself. I just got my teeth cleaned this week. I made $100 because I'm actually double covered for dental. So that's what I wanted to share with you folks, and hopefully you see some value there and opportunity to talk to your customers about more valuable benefits that benefit you and your customer.
All right. Well, thanks, Phil. I really appreciate you, bringing all this to anyone's attention that doesn't know, or maybe making our agent partners more familiar with it. Again, it is an opportunity to sell outside of the open election period for somebody that doesn't have a qualifying event, or to supplement what they currently have to make it a more attractive and more usable plan for your insured and your clients. So Phil's going to be sticking with us, and if you have questions, we can get them answered at the end. But we're going to just continue on with our agenda. Recently, in fact, on Monday, we received information from Aetna and Health America on their group compensation for Delaware, Pennsylvania, and West Virginia. As of 7/1 of this year, they are moving to a default service fee, and for Pennsylvania, it's 5%, and that's for groups of 1 to 100. The real caveat, and there will be additional details forthcoming, but the additional caveat is that you do have to disclose this information to your group clients, and you can negotiate higher than 5%, or you can negotiate lower, and of course that's going to affect the overall, the bottom line. So additional information will be in my newsletter coming out today, but as we move closer to 7/1, I do have some questions. Is that going to be for existing groups for 7/1? Is it just renewals or new business starting with 7/1? So again, I'm trying to find out additional details, but what we have at this point will be shared in the newsletter, and I'll update what I have next week. Speaking of next week, we do get a lot of questions on the 1095Cs and the 1094Cs, and I'm going to take a few minutes next week to kind of go over some of those details, what to expect for your groups for 2015, what you need to look for 16 as far as reporting. So hopefully that will be helpful and timely for you, for your group clients. I do want to mention, again, Pay Who Day on the Hill. There is a CE course on the 20th at the Hollywood Casino, followed by the Day on the Hill rally. The actual Day on the Hill is Tuesday the 21st. And I thought, throughout the last couple of weeks, we've talked about it, and I don't know if you've registered or not. That's certainly your prerogative. But we've talked about the importance of our fight as agents, and for our industry now being at the state level with the atmosphere not only with the Supreme Court's decision, we're waiting on that, but with the atmosphere in Pennsylvania of moving to a state-based exchange. So I do think it's pretty important, if you do have the time or the interest, to make yourself available and go fight the good fight for us. You know, a lot of the things that we've talked about, you know, most specifically of it is about navigators, and you know, our fight, NAHU's fight, and PAHU's fight to make sure that the navigators and application assisters are vetted and have to go through background checks. There's a lot of sensitive information being given out to these entities, and of course not everyone is bad, and I don't even know that any of them are bad, but it does seem just that navigators and application assisters need to go through the same background checks that we as agents do because of the sensitive information. On that note, we did receive notification from NAHU that on April 10th, the U.S. Court of Appeals for the 8th Circuit took action in a case that directly affects us, and you know, it's specific to Missouri right now, but you can see how nationally it would have an impact. And Missouri, their health insurance department, or the Health Insurance Innovation Act that was passed in 2013, basically said that navigators and in-person assisters working with health insurance consumers have to be vetted. They have the Missouri State Insurance Department has the right to license, regulate, and discipline the navigators. That was shot down, and there was basically a reprieve put on that, and it was just vetted on, or I'm sorry, just looked at again on April 10th, and essentially they ruled that navigators should be subject to the same rules. So that's a real win. Bottom line, in Missouri, navigators and application assisters will have to get the same background checks and licensure that we do. So that's a good win. If they're going to compete against us, it should be a level playing field, bottom line. NEPA and the Blue Cross Blue Shield Association is now taking up a fight at the state level and nationally to keep small group definition at 50. And of course, what that means is in 2016, the definition of small group is going to change from below 50 to 50 plus. And right now, a group of 51 to 100 can still reap the advantages of having, you know, some claims experience looked at for their rates. And if the group definition for small group changes, then the 51 plus that now have the liberty of really getting more precise rates or applicable rates are going to be changed, that to like the way small group is, where they're community rated and there's a prohibition on health discounts. There was a survey done by Oliver Wyman, and they estimate that in this section of groups, the 51 to 100, if this change to recognize 50 plus as large group goes through, that these groups will on average receive an 18% increase in 2016 on their rates. So we know what small group rates are now, and you know, it's going to continue to create chaos and unaffordability in the industry. So again, watch for that information if you feel that it's important, an important cause to you. There is a link on the notice that you can click on and do your part if you choose to do so. So again, I ask you, how can I help you? What do you need to know? What do you want to know? Please let me know, because I want to make sure that I am giving you everything that you need, all your tools that you need to tackle this new industry that we're in. And you know, again, one of those topics that we get a lot of questions on are the measurement periods. It's a convoluted sort of approach to counting and determining who to offer coverage to and who you don't have to offer, and definitions of employees, whether they're new hire full-times or variables or new hire part-time. So it's pretty, again, convoluted, but hopefully we'll make it pretty easy for you. May 14th, which is a Thursday at 2 p.m., Steve Jackson from PrimePay is going to run a Measurement Madness webinar. So if you do have the larger groups and have questions on measurement periods, now's the time to look for that invitation and sign up. Again, if you sign up and you can't attend, you'll still get a recording. So I encourage you to sign up if you have any interest. So that really brings us up to the open forum, and while you're typing in your questions that you need answered, just, pardon me, please note that next webinar is next Thursday, April 23rd at 9:30, as always, Thursday at 9:30. So hopefully you'll join us then. So let's see here. Well, it doesn't appear that there are any questions. So I guess that's good or bad. Who knows? But I can tell you that I do appreciate everyone joining in weekly, and if you do have questions, you certainly know how to get in touch with me. You can reach me at debw@urlinsgroup.com. And I wish all of you a wonderful day. It's a sunny day here in Central PA, so hopefully you can get out and enjoy the weather and the rest of your week, and certainly have a wonderful weekend. Thanks again, Phil, for sitting in and educating us on
Thanks, Deb.
products. All right.
All
right. Bye-bye, everyone.